Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Hey, church, I have a singing voice that is not a trained singing voice, but I have a voice and it sings, and so do you. And that's what really counts for Christmas caroling this Sunday at 3 p.m. We have some people in the church that just have a hard time getting out to worship for different reasons. We have some people in the church that have gone through a particularly hard time. So we're going to reach out to them this Sunday at 3 p.m. We're going to gather and go out in carpool and into homes and really, if anyone has ever Christmas caroled to you, you know that you're not expecting this to be an outstanding performance. What really matters is that someone showed up. They thought of you and came bearing Christ's light and God's love. So I encourage you, let's show up together at 3 p.m. and go out and reach out to some of our members and friends who might be able to use an extra dose of Christmas cheer. We do have something of an outreach Sunday this coming Sunday. We're going to start the morning with a 9:30 a.m. rehearsal for our multi-generational Christmas program, The Gift, that is very much about how God has reached out to us. And then we're going to have a Sunday school where kids are going to make gifts that will go out to local nursing homes. After worship, we're going to pack up some more hygiene kits because God inspired such generosity in the church that we were able to buy twice as many kits, so we have another round to pack. You can make an ornament after worship that can either hang on your own tree, or maybe there's someone that you know and love that you'd like to give that ornament to. And then, of course, Christmas caroling at 3 p.m. This is a season when we tend to think more and more about the needs of the world. Christmas is a time when people like to give, not just to their family members, but to charities and to those who are having a hard time. One of the gifts that we want to give this community is the longest night service that we have been observing for a number of years now on the longest night of the year, which is always December 21st. We know that this has been a painful stretch of weeks for some in our church, and it's my sense, I was talking with a funeral director, he said, it just seems like there is more grief. There are more losses, not just to COVID, but just in general. It's not anything statistically verifiable, but there is this sense that we need to be able to be honest with the grief that we are carrying into this season of light. And so that's what the longest night service is all about. It's where we can come with just whatever brokenness we have inside of our hearts and let it out in the open to have God's light shine on us. One of the wonderful hymns that we'll sing on Christmas Eve says, "Yet in the dark streets shineth the everlasting light." And so Christmas hope isn't for people who are just full of joy and cheer and happiness. It's just as much, and maybe especially, for those who know the darkness and shadows of life. So that's an encouragement for you and maybe someone you know that's going through a particularly hard stretch in the holidays to come to the longest night service, 7 p.m. on December 21st. And of course, we will gather for 2 Christmas Eve services at 5 p.m., which is going to be a little bit more family friendly, and then at 7 p.m., which will be a similar service and definitely conducive to kids. Both will be candlelight, and both will include communion this year. The 7 o'clock service will feature the choir and wind instruments, a brass ensemble. So let's keep on observing the season, readying our hearts to prepare Christ at his coming, not just in the manger, but into the thick of our lives, and yes, indeed, at the end of time as the majestic Lord who says, "Behold, I make all things new." Let's become new ourselves in this Advent, loving God, sharing relationships, serving others from the heart of Christ.